What's going on, guys? This is Dr. Freeze here at the Lighthouse, and today I'm gonna teach you whips. Now, if you're ready to learn some whips, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get to it. Now, the best whipper, hands down, is Ayo Stunna. Nobody compares to him, so if you want to learn whips, watch Ayo Stunna and try and figure out what he does, because the things he does are just mind-blowing. Now, the first whip we're gonna learn is the forward whip. We're gonna start with our hand closed and our thumb out. We're gonna move our hand forward and open finger roll while we're moving it forward. Then we're gonna turn our wrist around like this. And as we get to about here, we're gonna close our fingers around our thumb. And as we close it, we pull our hand back. Now you wanna do it with both hands. Next, we're gonna learn the backward whip. We're gonna start similar to the forward whip, but this time we're gonna put our palms down, close our hand, and I like to have my thumb out for this. So what we do is we push our hand forward, and as we do that, we open a finger roll with our pinky and rotate the wrist. You wanna make sure your fingers are fully outstretched when it gets to their face. And then as we come around here, we close it, pinky first, and then we pull it back. And do it with the other hand too. Now we're gonna go over the continuous whip. Good job for making it this far. Give yourself a thumbs up. Now take this thumb up, rotate it to the side so it's pointing at the viewer, and this is the motion that we wanna learn. Take this good job and shove it in their face. Now turn it around so the thumb is pointing back at you and give it back to yourself. Now rotate it again, shove it in their face, turn it around, back to you. Get it? Boom, 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 boom. Get this done with both hands. We're gonna start like this. Put one hand forward with a good job pointing them, the other one back at yourself. You're gonna throw this good job at them, and then as you twist this one back, you're gonna twist your left hand the opposite way. You catch that? So now we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna throw our good job on our left hand towards them, bring this one back, and then we're gonna twist both of them at the same time. Now let's add in the whips. Now for these whips, I'm gonna close my fingers and keep my thumb out. So I'm gonna close them like this. You see how my thumb is out like that? That's how I'm gonna close them. That way it's easier to get your good jobs pointing back and forth. So we'll start right here. One hand pointing them, one hand pointing at me. And we're gonna throw this whip. And as we're throwing this, we're gonna tilt our left hand to get ready to throw that whip. Okay, now we're gonna do the same motion. We good job, reverse switch. And we're gonna throw this whip. And then at the same time, we're twisting our right hand. Shoot. Switch, and then open this whip, and then we twist our right hand right here. Again. Whip, twist this left hand, back, twist the right hand. Now once you get that down, all you do is put your hands in the center and do the same motion. Throw it, twist the backhand. Throw it, twist the backhand. Throw it, twist the back. Throw it, twist the back. Now for these forward whips, you generally want the whip you're throwing to be on top of the other hand. So if I'm throwing my right whip forward, I want it to be on top of this hand. So as I throw it, now my left hand is gonna be the throwing whip and it's gonna go on top of my right hand. You see? On top. It doesn't always have to be on top, but generally speaking, they look better that way. Now that you learn the continuous forward whip, I'm gonna teach you how to do the continuous whip backward. So just like before, how we were flipping the good jobs back and forth, it's gonna be similar, but instead of pointing the good job at them, we're gonna point this side of our hand at them. Because we want to open up the whip with this pinky, and so we want to throw this side of the hand at them. Okay, so it's going to be the same motion, right? The two reverse facing good jobs. We're going to hit them with this, flip it, hit them with this one. Flip it, hit them, hit, flip, hit, flip, hit, flip. And now we just add in the whip starting with the pinky. So right here, we hit him, open the whip, and then we flip this left hand around. And then we hit him, open this whip, and flip the right hand around. Boom, boom, boom. So for these backward continuous whips, you could have them going either underneath or on top of the other hand. So if I'm throwing one with my right hand right here, I could go underneath my left hand and throw it. And then my left hand will come underneath the right hand and throw. And it'll come under and under. Or you could go over the other hand too. So I could go over my left hand, over the right hand, over the left, and then over the right. Now here are a couple tips for your whips. If you want clean whips, you must have clean finger rules. Again, finger rules, finger rules. Learn them over here, I teach you how to do them. In order to make your whips look big, you wanna over exaggerate them. And what I mean is you wanna stretch your fingers out huge, and you wanna rotate your wrist huge to make a gigantic circle. And that way your whips will look gigantic. Even if you have small fingers. My fingers be hella small. But it's okay. You just gotta over exaggerate the motion and your whips will look gigantic. Now another tip is imagine a metal pole going straight from you to your viewer. If you could open your whip around this pole and then close your hand around it, it's gonna make your whips look super clean and symmetrical. Another way to make your whips look fat is you wanna extend your wrists as if you're tutting. When you push your wrist back like this, you just get a much wider range of motion. That'll make your whips look a lot bigger. Another technique, lift your elbows while you're doing your whips to make them look bigger and more complete. You see, as I lift my elbow, it's way easier to get that range of motion. And also practice these in the mirror to see how they look. One tip is you could set your lights on a dop setting. That way they don't flicker as much. There's less gap in between the lights, and that'll show all of your flaws. So if you really want to practice on hard mode and get your skill up, I recommend practicing whips on DOPs. And they just look better when you could see the trails of the lights. Now let's also talk about whip placement. Placement is key to giving the illusion that you have many hands. Start at this shoulder and make a Nike swoosh. Shout out to UV Flow for that one. You could do a whip over here on this side. You don't always have to throw them in front of the viewer. You could just throw them back here. You could throw one right up here and then right up here. And then you could throw one over here and then one over here. You could throw one here and here. You could throw one here. You could throw them in the center. And then you could throw one back here, and then you could throw one way over here. Because the more you could play around with the depth perception and along the grid, the more you can make the illusion that there's hands all over, the more you can mess with people's minds. Well, I hope you learned something new. Now here is a light show. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you want the full beginner guide on how to glove, I go over the best glove sets, where to get batteries, different tutorials. Click the link down below and you'll get a document. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button and leave a comment down below of what you want to see next. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Take care.